Osrc News at 7. Ondo State government refutes Sahara reporters' claim on Governor Akeredolu's foreign trip. Government restates commitment to agricultural development in Ondo State. President Buhari signs executive order on maintenance of public buildings. And from the foreign scene, Kenyan trader submits self to police after killing wife and 3 children. Thank you for joining us on the news at 7. I am Oyewumi Ayinigbere. The Ondo State government has described as misleading a news item published on Sahara reporters which allege that Governor Akeredolu has been hospitalized in Germany. A statement by the governor's chief press secretary Richard Olatunde said contrary to the report, Governor Akeredolu alongside his colleagues left Nigeria for Dubai to attend the largest annual investment meeting in the United Emirates between March 28 and March 31, 2022. The statement explained that Governor Akeredolu had earlier sent a letter to the State House of Assembly informing the legislative arm that he would be away for 14 work days as the first part of his 2022 annual leave. It also noted that the governor transferred power to his deputy, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, to perform the functions of his office while he is away. The statement urged the people of Ondo State to ignore the report by Sahara reporters. Meanwhile, Ondo State government has embarked on the process of constructing an international business center at the premises of the present trade fair complex Alagbaka Akure. Heavy equipment were mobilized to the location this morning to commence removal of structures in the complex. Occupants of the various buildings have started removing their property to pave way for the demolition exercise. Speaking with Osrc, Commissioner for Lands and Infrastructure, Raimi Aminu, said the occupant had earlier been given notice to vacate the premises. It says structures being demolished are not occupied, noting that those occupying the buildings have been given some time to move their property. Aminu said the state governor has given approval for the construction of high-rise buildings as well as business consents that will improve on the economy of the state. As the 2023 elections are gathering momentum, Ondo State government has called on aspirants seeking political offices to pay for the pasting of paper posters and branding of vehicles between now and second week of May. Addressing journalists in Akure, the chairman of the State Signage and Advertisement Agency, Mr. Akiwande Akinrode, said anyone who violates the directive would face the wrath of the law. Osrc reporter Zimo Ebiemi has details.
During build-up to elections, strategic places are always adorned with posters of candidates of political parties, sometimes indiscriminately. Addressing newsmen in Akure, the chairman of Ondo State Signage and Advertisement Agency, Mr. Akiwande Akinrode, said government would not allow anyone to deface public places and surcharge the state. He called on aspirants from political parties to start payment for their advertisements from now till the second week of May 2022.
All forms of communication during the elections will be paid upon, i.e. the posters, the flyers, the town criers, the branded vehicles, branded office for aspirants and what have you. So it's essential for us to let the people of Ondo State be aware that after the elections, it's the duty of the state government to clean the environment after the elections. However, it's essential for all candidates, aspirants at this point to remit levies, taxes due to the state government before the elections, before the primary election.
Akinrode said the coordination of the payment is spearheaded by the State Signage and Advertisement Agency in conjunction with the State Internal Revenue Services. He appealed to all sons and daughters of the state to always pay their taxes for the development of the land and its people.
In the last 5 years of the existence of this administration, there has been just one account that revenues are being paid into. Yes, there are several ministries, agencies that are revenue agencies, but all payments goes to the government TSA account, which is domiciled at the Ondo State Board of Internal Revenue. Service. So all payments made to Ondo State Internal Revenue Service is being placed on each and every ministry agency's revenue head. Payments are not to be made at the signage agency. All payments go straight to the government TSA account, supervised and managed by Ondo State Internal Revenue Service. The Ondo State Internal Revenue Service then ensures that the taxes levies remitted goes to the specific revenue head of each ministry and agency of the government.
The Ondo State Signage and Advertisement Agency is in charge of placement of advertisement such as billboards, branding of vehicles, among others. Zimo Ebiemi, Osrc News.
Ondo State government has restated its resolve to enhance food sufficiency by putting all machineries in motion to ensure massive food production. The Deputy Governor, Mr. Lucky Aiyedatiwa, at the graduation ceremony and disbursement of startup capital to 260 trained incubators by IFAD Life and the project in Akure, gave the assurance. Government House correspondent Timileyin Falade reports that the incubators received training on cocoa and cassava planting techniques as well as fishery and poultry.
Livelihood Improvement Family Enterprises Niger Delta Life ND, a project sponsored by International Fund for Agricultural Development IFAD in partnership with Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC, aims to transform rural economy by ensuring food security and job creation for rural youths and women. Project has now trained 260 incubators in Ondo State. At the graduation ceremony, Ondo State Deputy Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who restated government's passion for the project, stated that Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu approved payment of counterpart fund as appropriate to enhance success of the program. Aiyedatiwa, who was represented by Deputy Chief of Staff Segun Omojua, said government has put machinery in place to secure the state from the menace of herdsmen and bandits through the introduction of the Amotekun Security Initiative to give the incubators a secure platform to operate optimally.
Mr. Governor has graciously approved the payment of counterpart fund as and when due. Also, I want to appreciate the efforts of Mr. Governor in securing the state from the menace of cattle herdsmen and bandits through the introduction of Southwest Security outfit named Amotekun.
The National Coordinator of IFAD, Dr. Clement Unwen, and State Coordinator Olawale Ademola said IFAD will continue to support agricultural development by empowering youths.
The selected 260 incubators were trained and empowered by the project in the following enterprises: cocoa, cassava, poultry, and fisheries. IFAD sent independent consultants to come and select the incubators and the incubatee. We at the state level, we were not given any chance to do what? To join them in the course of getting that to be done. Why? They said they are building a very solid foundation.
Other stakeholders expressed optimism that the program will go a long way in enhancing food sufficiency and job creation.
This is no doubt a unique ceremony in our dear Sunshine State, where 260 incubators segregated to 123 female and 137 male will be graduating after receiving training in 4 major agri-business enterprises.
You know, there's a lot to expect. We know Ondo State has the potential to become the food basket of the Southwest. Up to dare say it is already the food basket of the Southwest. But with your businesses, with your ideas, with your growth, we can.
I'm imploring you, the present day country requires sacrifice. It is not government problem only. We have problems that cut across every sector.
Highlight of the event was a presentation of awards and cash gifts to outstanding incubators. The beneficiaries were selected from 10 local government areas of the state. Timileyin Falade, Osrc News.
And now back to the story on trade fair. And the state government has embarked on the process of constructing an international business center at the premises of the present trade fair complex Alabaka Akure, Heavy equipment were mobilized to the location this morning to commence removal of structures in the complex. Occupants of the various buildings have started removing their property to pave way for the demolition exercise. Speaking with Osrc, Commissioner for Lands and Infrastructure Raimi Aminu said the occupants had earlier been given notice to vacate the premises. He said structures being demolished are not occupied, noting that those occupying the buildings have been given some time to move their property. Aminu said the state governor has given approval for the construction of high-rise buildings as well as business concerns that will improve on the economy of the state.
Government planning to do here?
Yeah, over 2 years ago, Mr. Governor has told the citizens that this trade bank complex will put into proper use. Because if you see, if you go inside, you see that all the structures, even the properties there, they are underutilized. Now it has been converted to within business districts. So we have modern structures, high-rise buildings, and at the end you will see a reason for demolishing this obsolete or dilapidated buildings. Because most of the buildings there, some the roof have been blown off by wind, bushes everywhere, and this is the time of the state. You can know the location. This is the event center, event center, this is home. This is the ODRS, State Internal Revenue Service. You can see we are in a beautiful. Now with the plan of the state government here now, to be in the same clear with this, even more than this.
And that was the Commissioner for Lands and Infrastructure, Raimi Aminu. And now the Ondo State government is insisting that petrol stations in the state must sell the product at the approved pump price of 165 naira or risk sanction. The Special Assistant to Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu on Special Duties and Strategies, Dr. Dunyo Debowale, during an enforcement in Akure, said government will not allow Shylock marketers to exploit innocent residents. Osrc's Richard Elisami reports.
Though normalcy has returned to petrol stations in Ondo State after months of fuel scarcity that grounded socio-economic activities, some petrol marketers are still hiding under the crisis to hold and sell the products above the approved pump price. This filling station at Orita Obele along Akure-Jare Road is one in many of petrol stations still taking undue advantage of the present situation to hold the product and sell at exorbitant price. But their plan was short-lived when the governor's special task force, led by the senior special assistant to the governor on special duties and strategies, Dunyo Debowale, stormed the place and found out that the station was holding 15,000 liters of the product in its dump.
Our normal practice is when we get to a filling station, we want to dip to be sure that at least you have the product. And if you have what you call the deck stock allowed by the governor, 500, we'll leave you, because we expect you to also enjoy, your product. But we found that this has about 15,000 liters. Over 15,000 liters. And they refuse to sell to the members of the public. It's unacceptable. So we have a standard. Anywhere we get to, whoever is the owner, anybody, you must sell. You cannot keep the product in your dump.
Beyond hoarding the product, as explained by Dr. Debowale, the station was selling between 175 and 190 naira per liter in contravention of government's directive, and the task force ordered the immediate configuration of the pump to reflect the official price.
If you don't have, don't have. If you have, you must sell. After all, why do you have this place? Why do you have this place? Because you want to make money. No, we won't allow you to cheat anybody. You will not do so. We won't allow it.
The task force ensured it monitored the sale of the product to vehicle owners, Okada riders, and other buyers.
In this country, it's not too hard like that. Within a second, they correct something here now. Within a second, they correct the situation. So God will help them and help all of us that we are here too.
Do you on should do buy one normal price? Una ṣe débẹ̀ láàárọ̀ báyìí tó wá pé gbogbo àwọn ọlọ́kadà pé ó yá ilé epo wọn gbọ́dọ̀ ta fún wa ní normal price. Ní wọ́n dẹ̀ wọ́n ṣe ń ta bí báyìí kò dẹ̀ sí màgòmágó ń bẹ̀.
Iye tẹ́ ta fún wa tẹ́lẹ̀ 190, 200. Bọ̀ báyìí adúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run fún ọ̀gá wa, bàbá wa Akérédolú bí wọ́n ṣe ń bá níta ní 165 5 yẹn àyẹnù wá dùn gan.
This is a clear signal that government is not relenting on its resolve to protect residents from Shylock petrol marketers taking advantage of the crisis situation to exploit innocent Nigerians. If you are one of the marketers still holding the product and yet to adjust to the official price of 165 naira, it may just be your turn to experience the situation here, as the task force says it is ready to go all out to ensure users of the product are not unduly exploited. Richard Lesomi, Osrc News.
The management of the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, has announced a 4-week mid-semester extension for students from 11th April 2022. In a statement, the registrar of the university, Mrs. Margaret Omoshile, ascribed to the current industrial action by ASU. Mrs. Omoshile urged the students to explore the extension for productive engagement. You're still watching Osrc News at 7. After the break, we bring you more stories. Please stay with us.
After a fruitful Ramadan day, replenish your body with the right nutrients. Make this your best Ramadan yet. Ramadan Kareem from Hollandia Dairy and Chivita Fruit Juice.
Thank you very much for joining us on the news. Now you can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook OSRC TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel. Governor State might still be basking in the euphoria of the appeal court judgment which upheld his stay in office, but the case which sought for his removal has given rise to several implications and demands. Some political analysts and governance evaluators have emphasized the need for constitutional reforms to clearly spell out the repercussion for defection by elected executives, as well as the need for political parties to champion ideologies. Saeed Aribisala reports that respondents also insist that political parties must begin to assert their supremacy.
Governor David Umahi of Ebonyi State, governor in Nigeria, to be sacked by a court's decision on the grounds of defection. Though solace worthy of rejoicing for the Ebonyi State helmsman eventually arrived some level of sanity in Nigeria's politics.
The first judgment has sent a signal. The Senate House of Representatives
Adekunle said the case has formed a basis to improve Nigeria's constitution by clearly spelling out sanctions for defecting executives.
If we see political party as a vehicle through which people are being elected, so if you are elected on a platform of PDP, for instance, and you now decide to cross carpet to APC, so the constitution is still not clear as to what is going to happen. So it is possible that subsequent electoral reform or constitutional reform in Nigeria might now categorically state what happened if someone is if a governor is elected under a particular platform and decide to defect to another platform, so it may be included, because it's also the processes of lawmaking is also about true cases. So the recent case now will be gathered to form a basis to improve the constitution.
While it is not uncommon for politicians to attribute their defection to the yearning of the people or division in their party, a social commentator, Olusegun Akinsende, opined that the centralization of resources through implementation of party supremacy will contribute to stemming the tide of defection in Nigeria.
They rely on the strength that they want to enjoy the largesse and the friendship of federal government. There won't be such excuse. You now know resources. You now know that by the grace